My name is Christian Vega.
Andrew Pierro.
My name is Juan Perez.
Alex Montelongo.
KVS Largo.
I got into cars mainly working on cars, not really for the looks or the going fast, but I enjoyed learning how to fix the problems that existed, and then eventually it developed into driving cars.
My uncles all had, nice cars when I was growing up. My uncle had a notchback Mustang, and my dad had a Mustang, and before that he had a 260Z. So it kind of just grew on me, but I've always kind of had a love for them anyways.
Also magazines, media. Magazines was like a really huge thing for me. Super Street, Sports Compact, Import Tuner. I pretty much grew up watching reading a lot of those magazines. A lot of memories of me and my cousin going out to Barnes and Nobles and just picking up magazines, going through them, just trying to see what's out there, like what people were doing to cars and things like that.
My dad was a mechanic from a very young age, and he taught me everything that he knew, and from there I just picked it up and I took it to another level, like racing and all that.
Cars have pretty much been a part of my life since I was a little kid. I kind of always grew up around it, and it kind of just developed into where it is now.
Rivals started with my friend at KVS. He approached me and told me he wanted to do a car page to show off the car scene for racing here in El Paso.
My part within the Rivals team is kind of side by side with Juan and Christian. We're trying to make merch.
The combination of all of us, everyone has a little part of everything, and everyone's willing to help each other achieve what we want in the end. So we'll do a lot of going to ASR, and then we'll all team up and work together to bring parts, bring essential tools needed out for the track, and potentially if one of us breaks down out there, we have other people there with the stuff needed to help each other.
We're more about the actual experience driving the car and racing it, not too much into car shows. So it's actually driving and racing the car and seeing what it can do and seeing our limits as well as a driver.
Can you try to get this close with traffic? It's stuck.
When was the last time we did it?
Before it starts.
Oh, no.
I don't know if you can try to.
It's tight.
Oh, you got this?
Yeah.
So I got the blue car probably around 2 years ago. We picked it up and it was pretty bad shape. It wasn't running right because it was missing an O2 sensor, but we didn't know that at the time. So the next weekend, my brothers and I kind of looked over it and figured out it was an O2 sensor, so we swapped that out and it ran perfectly. So that was kind of the first stage of making it like a reliable type daily driver.
I got my current car, the Subaru BRZ, about a year ago. I was actually driving an FRS. That one was in a car accident. Shortly after that, I ended up liking the car so much that I went with the Subaru version of it.
I got my car about 4 years ago. I'm still paying for it, but I'm over there racing.
Let's see. December timeframe 2 years ago, so in 2016. I picked it up and it wasn't running. I got from Hobbs New Mexico, and we trailered it all the way from over there back here.
2015 of February. It was basically like a birthday gift to myself. Actually, I think I got it on the 18th, but my birthday's on the 20th. So, yeah, it's been a while since I've had the car now.
I guess to me a cool story of my BRZ would be just it has to be like the first time I took this particular car to Autocross. You know, we got together with all my friends. We usually meet up at a gas station, and then we all head out together. We get there, you know, you get checked in, and just the whole experience of that, you know, being, you know, with a group of friends, getting ready for a track day or an autocross day, you know, the camaraderie and just being out there, you know, trying to beat each other. We say we're not competitive, but then, you know, we're once you do a few laps and you want to try and beat your friends.
I was at ASR and my ignition coils died right before going back onto track, which wasn't as bad as it dying on track, but I had to drive my car from ASR to Horizon City, Texas on one rotor, and it was very interesting and it used a lot of gas.
I was driving downtown and I saw a little kid with his parents, and the little kid was tugging on his dad's pants, telling him to look at my car, and you could see his excitement in his face when he saw it. And as he was passing by, crossing the street, I revved it a little bit, and he had the biggest smile on his face.
My car was completely different, like different wheels, everything was different. Like my car was just not stance because I wasn't really that low, but it was like, I guess I made it kind of like a show car. And then I remember the day that me and my girlfriend at the time decided to completely gut it out. That was the time I was like, you know what, let's gut it out. I wanna race it, and I wanna start prepping it for ASR and all that. I think that's the best experience I have, because that was the time I decided, you know what, I wanna go racing.
We went out to ASR, and there was a little backstory. So this is when it was a daily driver at the time, and my hood latch kind of came loose on the way to work. So I had to strap it down, and that pretty much led up to me blowing up my engine, because I had my hood ratchet strapped down. So when I got to the track, I didn't really want to take off the ratchet strap to check my engine oil, but I should have, because it was burning oil. So that was kind of my fault, a little dumb, but we went out on track and I ran all morning, and right before the lunch break, you just heard just rod knock, just ticking.
My impressions of Alex would have to be, since I don't know him that long, and I honestly haven't been able to work alongside him for very long. He's actually a really great guy. He puts a lot of time into his car and he takes it very seriously. He's always out there trying to do his best, which helps me decide and want to do my best as well.
When I met him, it was his first time, I think, in autocross. And my impressions were that he was just hungry. Like he wanted to be faster. He was asking me questions about certain turns and modifications. And
I wanted to be faster than him, but it was like the first time I saw him and everything, and it was kind of fun because I didn't even know who he was, but I would see his times on the board, and his times were really close to mine. I think the first time I really started talking to him, his times were like faster, and then we would go back and forth. And I think that event, he was faster than me with autocross. But it's kind of fun just to meet somebody close to you with your times and just be competitive.
My impressions of a caveist would have to be someone that's been there, done that, and someone I should probably listen to when it comes to racing and doing any sort of the rivals things we do.
Well, when I met him and saw his car, I could tell, like I said, you could tell a lot by a person, and I could tell he was a really focused and determined person, especially when it came to his car. And even now, you look at him and we have a special chat with the rivals guys, and he's always doing something to his car, whether it's cleaning the engine bay or tweaking something, changing his belt. The other day he was trying to find a belt because he got a different pulley set up.
There's a difference between Alex and Acavius in that they both chose different platforms. KV chose the Mazda Miata with rear-wheel drive, and Alex chose a front-wheel drive Civic Si.
I think all of us want to do our best to the point of it could be considered a rivalry, hence the name Rivals, but everyone really does support each other as much as possible.
What's up, Alex? What's going on, man? How are you, Free? Good, dude. How you doing?
Oh, bro. All right, you see right there, because it's dark. And then,
Come out, brother. Beautiful.
Are they gonna make me faster?
Easy 50 horsepower.
I installed them today finally. They're track coilovers, so I mean they have an external reservoir which I can control rebound and the compression of the shocks. So I mean it allows me to fine tune the car at the track.
Oh yeah, maybe it had fog lights or something, or maybe that's what that switch is for. So I just got this Miata probably last week, and I picked it up just to be a daily driver, but it has a supercharger on it. So I'm probably gonna convert this car back to stock and pull the supercharger off and put it on to the blue car.
Yeah, I believe a car definitely represents the person that's working on it. I feel if you're a perfectionist, the car's gonna look, really, really clean, and you're gonna be really, really picky with parts.
The car you have and the way you modify your car really does depict the kind of person you are. Whether you are about racing or about show or about anything other than those two I mentioned, it really does depict how you feel about your car and what you think looks great, and things that, as far as performance, like exhaust, how you enjoy, I guess, the loudness and aggressiveness of your car.
It's easy to tell what a person's gonna be like or what their interests are just by looking at their car.
No two cars are the same thing, and like you might go with something that you really like, and then that person might not like it, and then he'll put like something that's similar to that part, but it's a little bit different for their different purpose, like because they see it useful in their own way. You might not like it or see it useful in your way, but it expresses you.
Just because you can see like how much detail, I guess, you can put into their car or what kind of style they take their car to, but I think it's pretty much the cars really do reflect their owners. I don't really have any rituals to go racing. Really, I just try to stay, I guess, set up. I always want to be like 100% ready to go. And on the day of, I just try to stay calm and not think of anything, just be ready and then go out there and just drive.
Get me a cup of coffee, listen to some music to get me pumped up, and just kind of go through the car before I'm out there.
When we first started racing, we always really maintained our cars. We would like do really silly stuff like cleaning the cars before racing. But now, honestly, I typically go through a checklist and bring all the stuff, which I typically forget my helmet, which is a really important part, but that's happened more than once. But to get me in the mood is just being able to wake up and show up.
What gets me pumped for a race would probably be just to see the other guys getting ready and about to leave and hit the track.
Put the windows up, put my visor down on my helmet, and I try to keep my mind blank, because if I start thinking like, oh, do this at this turn, do that at that turn, I tend to mess up. So I keep my mind blank and just wait for whoever's at the gate to tell me that I can go.
I've never been a person to follow people who I don't know, such as celebrities or big icons or names or someone that's very popular. I typically associate myself with people that I directly interact with. So my inspirations would be the local drivers as well as the people from rivals who come out and drive and give their passion, even though there's many obstacles in the way, they still figure out a way to do it.
As a driver, I really looked up to Suchiya, the Drift King, even though I'm trying to do something now. So I looked up to him because I used to watch a lot of the best motoring videos, and I just liked his driving style. You know, he was a big 8086 fan, so he had his own Hachiroku, and to me that was just one of the coolest cars seen, and I guess probably one of the bigger inspirations to me. His driving style, his style in fixing up the cars, to me were super cool.
Probably Paul Walker, because as much as people sometimes don't like to admit, he's a big part of the car community.
Obviously, my dad, he's taught me a lot. Like, honestly, like without him, I wouldn't be able to like work on the car. And I have two drivers that I really look up to, and the first one is Ayrton Senna, a Brazilian driver. He died in 1994 at Imola. That guy was honestly a beast. He would drive, he wouldn't care about his safety or anything. I know doesn't sound like safe at all, but yeah, I always look at his racing videos, and you just see that like when you're determined, you'll go to the extremes just to achieve it. And the fact that like with McLaren and the MP4-4, that car, I remember that car, it had a Honda engine in it, and that's when I started like loving Honda, because yeah, like they seem slow in the streets, but like once it comes to track and all that, like they're pretty quick. And then my second driver would be Ken Suen. I think he used to work for Godspeed, and he started with a Civic like mine. They invited him one day to a track event, and from there he just got hooked. And at one point he had the car like I have mine, like no AC, nothing, and he would daily it. That's why I'm kind of daily in mine.
Pretty much what I see on like Instagram when people progressing on their cars. Like a cool local one is Tim with his Green Miata. He's pretty consistent, but I'm trying to be competitive with Tim and Tyler just because they're on the same platform. But a lot of bigger drivers that create content and continue to drive, those are really big like inspirations for me.
Last time I was here, I think I did a 136. I'm just trying to hopefully beat that. If not, even if it's just by like a second, I'll be happy. I mean, and also try to keep up with the KVS, but we'll see.
Time attack racing is racing around a circuit or a course to get the fastest time possible.
Circuit racing and time attack race. I got into it here that they were hosting in El Paso a SCCA event. So I had seen it a few times. I had gone to go look at it in person. Me and my cousin went over there and we just checked it out, see what it was all about. Eventually, I ended up taking my Mazda Miata to it, and I ran it for the first time, and since then I was just hooked.
Honestly, I've always wanted to do it, but I kind of never got the I guess last push I needed to do it. And then once I met the guys at Rivals and hung out with them more, I was just like, why not just go do it? I'll go with them and give it a try, and I did it and I got hooked. So
I got into racing once I first heard of SCCA. They had autocross events at Cullen Stadium, and we decided, I think it was myself, Acavius, and we decided to just go and do it. So we ended up doing it, and it was really fun, so we basically went to every single event afterwards.
I've been wanting to try it since a long time, like I'd say like a year and a half. And Juan actually, he invited me to an autocross event, and I went out in my Civic and I liked it. And from there I just started picking it up even more, and I mean it's grown on me, so I can't really live without it. Oh yeah?
Yeah?
I mean, I can get some laps. I'm just scared of this, honestly. And it doesn't feel like as solid as the other one. It doesn't. So it's hard to find the gear. You want to take it for a drive, bro?
Right here? On stands? Hell yeah.
Best motor out there. It's got the LED bars. Oh, it's nice car. Nice. What's going on, man? Justin.
How do you pronounce your name? Acavius?
Acavius.
Yeah. Because my buddy was like, Asavias. I'm like, dude, I don't think that's how you say that name, man.
Yeah, it's Acavius.
So I guess you could if you want to get specific.
I just, every time somebody says my name, I'm just like, yeah.
Sure.
Just close enough.
Right.
All drivers, if you are racing today, mandatory meeting. The sooner we do this, the sooner you all can get on track. So please make your way down. Thank you.
We're going to be running clockwise today. To enter the track clockwise, you're going to enter via the drag strip. This is the drag strip. Everyone see the drag strip. So that means to enter the track, you're going to be coming through here. This area is congested, okay? So watch your speed. When you enter, you're going to have cars coming through the carousel here, okay? Please hang back. Don't pull your car right up to the carousel because there'll probably be a handful of cars that go off there, okay? You're only allowed to pass in 3 areas. Someone say where you can pass. Who knows where you can pass only?
Carousels.
Wrong.
Bus stop.
Wrong.
3 straights.
Right, correct. There's 3 straights, okay?
Thank you.
Main straight, what we call the curve straight, and the start-finish straight, the back straight, okay? So everyone familiar with that? Absolutely 0 passing in the turns. If I catch you passing in the turns, dive bombing, you're done for the day, okay? We're not out here to win F1 paychecks and F1 trophies, so use your head. Say it all the time. It's a perfect track to learn. And if you guys are ready for competition, that's what the time attack's for. So be smart, have fun, learn the track. If you have questions about laps, track lines, ask me and Tyler. We can go over stuff. All right, guys, have fun.
Come up over here, I'll make sure to take it away.
ASR Super Lap was really fun. Great turnouts on most of those, so you have a lot of participants to drive around. They typically have an open lap in the beginning, and then in that evening they'll allow you to do their timed attacks.
So my first experience with time attack racing was at ASR, and it was actually an Integra that I had just bought. Like I took that car racing like within the week or two that I got it. My Civic was down during that time because of the engine, and I got the Integra, and my friend told me, hey, well, you know what, let's go, let's try it. I said, all right, let's go. I got some secondhand tires from Alameda. They were actually sticky tires, which they came in handy.
It just feels surreal, like you're just out there and, you know, you're out on the track, you're trying to be fast. So it's a little nerve-wracking, but definitely a big adrenaline rush when you're out there.
Big difference than autocross because you carried a lot more speed with all your weight. So it was a little bit to adjust to, but it was very fun.
So anyone can kind of start with time attack racing whenever they want. You just need to go out to one of the ASR super lap events or even just like a private lapping day. But you just have to make sure that your car meets the tech inspections. And that's kind of basic, just no ball tires, you have fluid, no fluid leaking, just all the basic stuff.
Honestly, just do it. That's all it is. Like, at first, when I started working on the car, I was like, I need to get it ready. I need to do this and that. Bullshit. Just get yourself out there and do it. Your car is never gonna be ready on it in the sense that like you take it out to the track and you're gonna find something that you want to do because either that was making you uncomfortable on the track or it's just not working out for you. So just do it. Just take out your car, no matter if it's stock. I've seen an Altima at SCCA. I remember the first round, an Altima. Like somebody took their family car to race.
When it comes to time attack, sometimes less power is better. The only reason why I say that as of right now is because, like I said, when I was doing autocross, because of the power level of my car, my tires were not doing anything for me. I was sliding all over the place.
Just, you know, it's really set up so you can take your car as it is. So I would just go out there.
Any advice to time attack racing? I know it's probably gonna be the last. Well, I'm hoping it's not the last event for ACCA, but if you really want to get into time attack, try out the autocross events.
I guess the one thing I do a lot is I try and look at videos. There's a lot of people posting videos on YouTube, so I would definitely recommend doing that. And just checking the video out or a video out so you can see the track layout. Trying to get an idea of what it looks like on the track. It does look different once you're out there, but at least you have an idea.
I would say start slow and get fast. And know your car before you get out there. And of course ask for other people for their experience and their advice and actually listen to them, because there's a lot of people asking questions on how to make the cars faster, how to do this, how to do that, and then they get told how to do it, but they don't want to listen to them.
Don't brake too early, because I do that a lot. I brake way too early. Try and get the very least amount of brakes that you can, or at least at the perfect moments, to where it's not slowing you down too much. Or even try doing transmission braking. I mean, it's a little harsher, but won't slow you down as much for sure.
Try to get to learn your car and don't be so competitive with other drivers, but be more competitive with your driving. So just try to compete with your own time. That way you know you're growing.
The good things about Time Attack is you get a lot of track time. You know, you pay about $65 for the ASR Superlat, and you're probably out on the track for at least 20 minutes, if not more. So one track day at ASR is just, it's a lot of track time.
Some of the stuff that you learn on the track, you can take it to daily driving, and yeah, it makes you a better driver at the end of the day.
We have a lot of people wanting to race, and they think street racing and driving in a straight line is great, and sure, it's awesome, but being able to be on a track actually requires more skill, and it's legal, and there's a bunch of other people that share the same passion as you, and it's quite frankly safer than potential alternatives.
You get to learn your limits and your car's limits without being or feeling, I guess, too much pressure. You're feeling the pressure obviously because you want to get the fastest time, but usually when you do time attack racing, like legit time attack racing, it's one person on the track at a time, or they space out each person. So it gives you that comfort to know, like, okay, like if I do spin out, I don't have to worry about someone hitting me or whatever. So you're more likely to push it harder.
If something pops up in the road, I know how far I can like turn my car to get around that, and just getting out of people's way. Like if something had to happen, like I know what my car can do.
The one con I would say is money. I mean, if you're really serious about it, you're gonna spend money on tires, on modifications. I mean, and it gets pricey after a while.
You always work on the car, and whenever you have a bad day, like you wanna like, oh, well, I need to work on this. I need to get this stuff so I can make my car faster for the next event.
You're beating on your brakes, you're beating on your tires, you're messing with oil pressures, hitting certain G's as you're going around corners. You need to definitely be careful and make sure that the car is modded correctly if you're at that level, I guess.
Fortunately, us in El Paso, we may not have many options, but the options we do have are affordable versus other places that are across the country that really do cost a lot more.
Goes through those holes, and when I'm riding on the desert like an airplane, and then you can wear long sleeves like a.
I changed that Vegas. You didn't like the blue.
You'll also see that next to the group, he's going to add a number that'll say like C1, C4, things like that. That's your corner assignment. So the way we have it is that running down this, all these light poles are corner 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going off, and then 5 and 6 are actually over there. So that's your volunteer area. So while half the group is driving, the other half is volunteering.
I think we're doing real good though, because we're,
Nick, the Corvette is in grade 10, Russell Allen, grade 11, Bill Walker, grade 12, Christian Vega, grade 13, Max Allen, grade 14, Juan Fernandez, grid 15. Mark Winton, grid 16.
Autocross racing is just, it's similar to time attack. You're still trying to get the fastest lap times.
It's pretty fun in the sense that like the track layout is never the same since it's all made with cones.
And you're just trying not to hit the cones because those will deduct points off or they'll add seconds to your lap times.
So this gives us and everyone an opportunity to experience their car in a controlled environment where they can really find out where the limits of the car is, how the car behaves at those limits.
Daniel Fahey in 9th, Juan Gallo in 8th, John Telford in 7th, Keith McWilliams in 6th, Joshua Wright in 5th, Jeremiah Johnson in 4th, and now for a medal in 3rd place, we have Jonathan Ruman? So where's Jonathan? Yeah, very cool. Round of applause, Jonathan. 3rd place. Be back tomorrow, correct? All right. In 2nd place, we have Mr. Alan Delcid. Yeah, that takes your name. Cool. 2nd place. Congratulations. Come back tomorrow. Yeah. And then 1st place in the 2008 Honda Civic SI, we have Mr. Alejandro Montelongo. Yeah. There we go. 1st place medal for rookies, Alejandro Montelongo. All right. So now in the intermediate. In 2nd place, in a Mazda RX-8, we have Mr. Christian Vega. Yeah. Excellent. Of course he wants one. All right. And in 1st place in the intermediate class, in the 2002 Chevrolet Corvette Z06, Mr. Juan Fernandez. All the way down from Los Alamos, visiting us. staying in the hotel?
My first experience with autocross racing was actually at the beginning of this year when Juan invited me to try it out. I took out my Civic. It had barely been rebuilt thanks to Freddie and Carlos here at RPM.
I just thought it was funny because I remember going off course and I got back on course. I was trying to finish it, just super nervous. And once I got through it, I saw the time and I was like, man, I gotta get faster. You know, I gotta stay on the track first of all, but I just wanted to go back out there.
It was a lot of fun. The only downside to it was I don't have the tires for it. That's one thing I'm lacking on this car is tires. I was sliding like crazy.
So a cool autocross kind of story would be just me and my brother going at it for autocross, being super competitive. I think it's more pretty much everybody though, like me and my brother and me and Alex. So I'll get a fast run in and then Alex will go out and get a fast run, but we'll be competitive with each other. It's kind of just fun.
All right, 76.354. That's his best time. Clean up.
It's a little challenging with SCCA because they took out our Cohen spot to drive, but I think we'll find another spot because people like driving autocross all the time. But hopefully this next season we'll find a venue to continue that and just keep running there.
I think Rivals has a lot of potential for a great many different things. Although the city itself potentially limits us as far as what events do happen, I think Rivals has a lot of momentum, knowledge, and skill to actually do a lot of good for people who actually enjoy driving or people who don't even know about driving. Because there have been many instances where people have no idea this exists, yet Rivals introduces them to something they now love.
Hopefully we get sponsored and we turn into this big time attack racing group. But honestly, I'm not sure. Hopefully, I'm hoping it grows. We could start a bigger time attack autocross circuit scene here.
Everyone, Andrew, Juan, Acavius, Chapo, all of them, like they're racing, but they're trying to attract sponsors for themselves because they want to like obviously get stuff cheaper and whatnot, and then so they can do what they like to do, racing. And then it gets contagious because you see Acavius or Juan get something and you're like, oh, I need to get something because I want to be better than them the next time out. So I guess the sense that like we compete against each other, a lot of people see it and they try to push also. So I think Rivals is going in the right direction.
The future for Rivals is probably to just continue driving with their friends and continue making content, and hopefully in the future just do that on a bigger scale. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a circuit, well, not a circuit, but like more of a time attack in SCCA type community. It's kind of small, but it's growing right now. So hopefully we'll find a new venue for SCCA and continue to grow that. But most of the time right now it's going to be kind of growing like the time attack scene.
Not a circuit scene as much, because I mean, not a lot of people get their cars ready for ASR or SCCA. I think there's more of a scene for drag racing. I mean, I know that there's, they do it illegally and they also do it at the track at Southwest. I think that scene is way bigger because, I mean, it's not that far from here. It's in Clint. I mean, you pay, I think, like 20, 25, I'm not sure on the price, but you don't pay that much and you get to get as many runs as you want.
At least not here, but I know there's a lot of people that participate in it. Usually those people that do participate end up going to ASR, which is in Deming. But the only thing we have close here as far as like time attack that people do would probably just be SCCA, which is Autocross.
I think here in El Paso, the car culture is more fixated on stance cars. Not really a scene out here for the race cars. I know drag racing is really big out here.
Do I view myself as a racer? Nah, I don't think so. I mean, to be a racer, you have to be like really good at what you do. I'm still learning. Well, I mean, I'm hoping that someday, like, I consider myself a racer as in like, oh, someone will say, oh, well, that's the guy that likes to race or this and that. But me, myself, no. I just a regular human being trying to go faster on the track and have fun.
I view myself as a competitor. Yeah, I do. I don't have much experience. I'm still learning for sure. But yeah, I mean, I definitely love the feeling, the adrenaline rush when you're in the seat and you got people passing by you or you're passing by them or you're hitting a corner and you start to get a little sideways. That adrenaline rush is just the best feeling ever.
I don't know, I think that question's funny. I mean, I guess, I got the gloves, I got the clothes for it, so yeah, I'd say I view myself as a racer. I mean, I'm out there on the track, I try to go to as many of them as I can. So I guess if that's being a racer, then I'm a racer, huh?
Yes, I see myself as a racer just because me and my group of friends try to push each other and go out every weekend.
Sure.